Welcome back. Sports News now. Team Nigeria put up an impressive performance on the opening day of the 6th Commonwealth Taekwondo Championships held in Edinburgh, Scotland, picking 6 medals from 10 events. Nigeria taekwondists picked 4 gold and 2 bronze medals to record the country's best performance in its national championships, surpassing the 3 gold, 1 silver and 1 bronze won at the 1987 All-Africa Games. Nigeria has not featured at the ongoing Commonwealth Taekwondo Championship in the last 5 editions. Over 500 taekwondists from the 64 Commonwealth federations are participating in the tournament at Meadowbank Stadium in Edinburgh. Well, following the Super Eagles' impressive result at Prt4 against the Red Devils of Congo, former coach Fanny Amung and football enthusiast Yomi Kuku believe the decision to allow coach Stephen Keshi handle the last round of qualifiers has begun paying off. They say the result has rekindled hope that the team can successfully defend their title in Equatorial Guinea next year.
As far as coaching career is concerned, it's a success story to Nigeria. No doubt about it. Having coached the national team to win the Nations Cup, both as a player and a captain, having performed so well in the World Cup in Brazil, and again all through the qualifying games that we've had, for the controversies around the federation, you still say that he has done well. We're not the last in the group. We're having about 7 points. We have one more game to go, which I solely wish and hope that we're going to have the 3 points in Uyo come Wednesday.
Keshi is competent. We all know that. He proved that as a player. He's doing that as a coach. And he happens to be one of Nigeria's foremost coaches that we've had recently. And that's the truth. Foreign, local, expert or whatever. So for me, I think Keshi has it. He's got what it takes to.
Meanwhile, the Confederation of African Football has picked Mauritius's referee Rajendra Prasad Sichan for Wednesday's 2015 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier between Nigeria and South Africa in Uyo. Sichan will be assisted by countryman Balkrishna Bhutan and Vivian Valley as assistant referee too, and Paramenda Nunko as reserve referee. Meanwhile, the delegation of Bafana Bafana to Wednesday's match will arrive in Uyo on Monday evening. The delegation includes 26 players and 15 officials. Tennis fans who earlier today trooped to the London O2 Arena to watch a thrilling ATP Tour finals between Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic were disappointed as the world number 2 pulled out without even hitting the tennis ball. Federer announced he was not match fit as he apologized in person to the crowd at the O2 Arena. The world number 2 beats Danilas Wawrinka 4-6, 7-5, 7-6 on Saturday in a thrilling semi-final lasting 2 hours and 48 minutes. Djokovic, who wins the season-ending event for the 3rd time in a row, took on Andy Murray in an exhibition match to entertain fans who had already come in for the Sunday final. On the foreign scene, ISIS has posted a video online purportedly showing U.S. aid worker Abdulrahman Kasig being beheaded. Kasig, also known by the name Peter, was a former U.S. Army Ranger who served in Iraq. He later trained as an emergency medical technician, traveling to Lebanon in May 2012 to work in border hospitals treating Palestinian refugees and later those fleeing the Syrian conflict. He was undertaking a project for an aid group when he was captured in October last year while he was traveling to eastern Syria. The U.S. says it's still trying to determine the authenticity of the video. If confirmed, the 26-year-old will be the 5th Western hostage to have been beheaded by ISIS. However, unlike in previous videos, this one did not show other Western captives or directly threaten anyone else. And after 2 days of intensive discussions, leaders at the G20 summit holding in Brisbane, Australia, have agreed to boost their economies by at least 2.1% by the year 2018, adding $2 trillion to global economies. In his speech at the close of the summit earlier today, Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott said reforms to economies would create millions of jobs. He even outlined plans to increase the participation of women in the global workforce and to crack down on tax avoidance by multinational companies. Leaders also took a swipe at Russia, whom they advised to stop violating international law by providing heavy arms to the separatists in Ukraine. While US President Barack Obama told reporters Russia was violating the Minsk agreement, the Russian President Vladimir Putin called for an end to sanctions against Russia, saying they harm the world economy as well as Russia.
You don't invade other countries or finance proxies and support them in ways that break up a country that has mechanisms for democratic elections.
Day-to-day government operations. What are the odds the country will see itself?
At this point, the sanctions that we have in place are biting plenty good. We retain the capabilities and we have our teams constantly looking at mechanisms in which to turn up additional pressure as necessary.
We've signed off on a peer-reviewed growth package that, if implemented, will achieve a 2.1% increase in global growth over the next 5 years, on top of business as usual.
Back here in Africa, Burkina Faso's military leader, Lieutenant Colonel Isaac Zida, has given political groups to provide a list of candidates for interim national leader up until this Sunday afternoon. The groups had agreed to submit a list of candidates to a 23-member council from which a leader will be selected. This follows an agreement on Thursday to install an interim legislative chamber and a transitional leader pending elections next year. Under the charter, the interim president will be chosen by a special college composed of religious, military, political, civil and traditional leaders. In a communique on Saturday, Colonel Zida said civilian groups had up until noon on Sunday to provide a list of candidates to serve as interim president. He also said the constitution was back in force in order to allow the start of the establishment of a civilian transition. And the main news again. The federal government has asked Nigerians to tighten their belts ahead of tougher economic challenges. Finance Minister Okonjo-iweala explained that the Federal Executive Council is proposing a new benchmark for 2015 budget at $73 per barrel of crude against the $78 awaiting approval by the National Assembly. A bomb exploded in a GSM market in Azare, Bauchi State, killing over 13 people. The suspected bomber, as well as the mastermind, were however lynched by the angry crowd. Islamic State militants have posted an online video purportedly showing the execution of captured U.S. worker Abdul Rahman Kasig. And we'll leave you with this picture once again from Ibafo in Ogun State of a woman backing a baby, yet carrying a child who's also carrying a baby, and they're all not on a motorcycle as we thought earlier. It's actually a bicycle. Imagine all that weight on two wheels. A lot to think about, but thanks for watching the news at 10. I am Amarachi Ubani. Good night and have a wonderful week ahead.